Look, it's a flood.
The flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Who do you think we scared the most with the intro?
What's your one friend, Renner?
Renner?
Yeah, it's probably.
I think Lil B was the most shocked when he came back. And I was like, ah, we did the whole spiel. He's like, wow, you guys added a lot to that.
But we've also gotten better at doing it. It's like elevator pitch.
Exactly. We finally came up with a good way to describe our podcast without like going on for like 45 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Whoops.
First episode back.
That's a cross.
Weekend Update meets Drink Champs.
That's accurate. That's accurate enough.
Right? Weekend Update meets Drink Champs. Minus Kanye West. God bless for that.
God, man, we could talk about him and all. We could make several podcasts about that man.
Let's not.
Nah, but we won't.
It's not like we'd be platforming it. It's not like talking about Andrew Tate, right?
No. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about Andrew Tate today.
Can we talk about how his downfall was Greta Thunberg?
That's true. Can you talk about how a white girl took down an Arabian
Like a 17-year-old white girl.
Right. She's still going through puberty.
Yo. Just out here serving.
She is getting the humanitarian award for the most stress-free top in a single night.
Time Magazine Person of the Year. Again.
Can we give her a Nobel Prize for this?
Hasn't she already gotten one?
Yeah, she has at least a humanitarian prize. I know that much.
I can't fact check that right now. But
It's like,
Greta Thunberg is proof that going viral fucking matters.
oh, 100%. 1,000%.
what was fact check was that fucking pizza. The pizza.
The pizza. How?
Hey, Pizzagate 2.0. The real Pizzagate. God.
That is.
Roof pizza.
To be talking about all that misogyny, right? Like, just to be the fucking king of misogyny, and for the thing you go down for is sex trafficking, like, come on.
Buy a pizza box in under 30 minutes or less. That's impressive. You know what? All pizza people who are watching this or seeing this podcast, y'all need to step up your game, because if a pizza company from God knows wherever this man was hiding,
right,
could track your ass down, there's no excuse.
Hey, fun fact. Little Caesars paid for Rose's Park's rent.
There you
So
go.
she died. So if your pizza chain is not out here supporting civil rights legends or helping catch sex crimes, is it really worth shopping there?
Also, Little
Papa
Caesars, $5 hot and ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Still, in the age of inflation,
Keep it up to the
it's like the Costco CEO. Did you hear about that?
No.
The Costco CEO, like, his brother was like, we really should think about raising the hot dog prices. And the guy looked at him and was like, we're not raising the fucking hot dog
Because inflation is already rising
prices.
up.
And crashing through.
Were we gonna do that now?
You started.
Welcome back. After a long break, this is The Flood with Doc
And Ziggy.
and what do?
We bring our pop perspective
To put the culture in context.
and make the mainstream make sense. Because if we don't make sense,
Then
we
we
don't
don't
make dollars.
Holla. And for our episode back, the first episode of the year after a long and much needed break,
Yup.
we have a special guest for you guys. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Tyrek, but y'all can call me TK, and I am a friend of Dan that we've been friends for God knows how long. It feels like it's I want to say at least 15 years.
This is something that bothers us about our generation, is our obsession with the amount of time, because no new content is actually getting produced, so we're just rehashing everything in nostalgia, which actually makes us content in a constant time loop. But
I would like to push back on that, but we'll do that later, though. TK, is there anything you would like to plug?
Well, so for those who enjoy beer, like we're drinking right now for our visual audience, I have a podcast named Crushable Beer. My buddy Drew and I, we review beer and we just take it as we go. So right now we're in hiatus because my friend Andrew is in Germany right now. So until he comes back or I go over there, kind of the shows are kind of in like this weird hiatus. But we still like make content. He makes content, and I'm doing this like big Crushables on a go, kind of like this college humor, like college style, where like we go to different breweries, like I go to different breweries and like do like 1 minute hot takes and like ship it out like that. So that's still in the works. I'm still planning
TikTok
it.
Style. Yeah,
basically TikTok on the road. Crushables on YouTube. Check it out.
Check it out, guys.
now, TK, as we like to do with every guest when they first appear on this show, everybody has those hills that they are going to die on, and we are here at the flood, and we want to know if that hill survives the flood. Does it become an island? So, TK, tell us, what is your island?
I got ready for this now. Okay.
Yeah. My man said, "Are you ready for
Are
it?"
you
Now,
ready?
look, now I'm ready.
So I am a man of culture, and I have explored the very limited world that is outside America. And there's a couple things that I've learned, and that I'm just gonna say here: season 8 and season 7 of Game of Thrones was fine.
Hot take.
It was fine.
Fine.
It was fine.
What is your definition
Okay.
of fine?
So I want to start. Okay, have you watched Game of Thrones? right?
I have seen every episode. I have seen every episode.
Okay, have you watched Game of Thrones?
No, I was gonna
Do
say.
you know-
Listeners of the pod know that I have not watched any of Game of Thrones. I've seen clips.
Okay, but you see clips.
And
Okay,
I've seen memes. I get it out of
How many of
context.
them were on Pornhub?
That's problematic.
That
That
is
is super
problematic.
problematic.
Nobody needs to know.
Siblings minus step.
So all right, I will say this: season 1 to season 4 was a great world bringing, kind of like this D&D setting where like we're introducing the characters, we're introducing the plot, we're establishing the flaws and all that stuff. Perfect storytelling, 10 out of 10. That's kind of what it really thrived and got the, like, at least our generation, like talking about it and like
Right.
the trains, the shops, the work, everything. And then as the book and the...
Well, season 5 and 6 are like peak TV.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like season 1 through 4 is like great world building. Season 5 and 6 is like literally crack.
It's just like, do you remember the movie, was it Crack from Jason... the guy-
Crank?
Crank, yeah, Crank, yeah. It's
Yeah,
literally
no,
that's
shit.
like that. It's
Right.
It's Crank for like 2 seasons. It's just non-stop insanity.
Yeah,
You know what,
intense,
Crank
and
is
it's
a
gotta
wild-
Keep going.
Crank is a wild movie because it's the movie Speed on meth.
It is a mess.
Like, no, for real. Like, doesn't he like do a whole bunch of like epinephrine or whatever?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Like,
he has to
literally
do
the
it.
freaker. Yeah, exactly. Keep that shit pumping.
If he doesn't, he dies.
Yeah. So so the first 4 seasons they do a whole lot of world building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a whole
Great
lot of
writing.
a lot of exposition, like getting you
Lots of
invested.
walking.
Yeah, a lot of walking.
It, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Mostly like 1 and half of 2. Now 7 and 8. A lot of people got very angry and hurt because of the direction that Game of Thrones went to. It threw everything that it built up upside down.
Gotta love
It's
it.
and Dan can attest to that.
I have long and hard thought about specifically season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's the final season.
here's my take. I'm gonna disagree with you on saying that the season itself is fine.
Here's the pushback.
Okay, all
The
right.
season itself is not fine. The plot is fine.
These waves is getting a little shaky.
But the pacing was atrocious. There's so many things. All right, so like, look,
You know how I feel.
the last season was like what, 7 episodes?
Yeah.
It probably should have been 10.
They're always.
Why is the White Walker battle literally one night?
Oh, 100.
And,
It's
like,
one
Because
episode.
It's like it's one episode. We don't actually understand who the fuck the Night King is. It's just Arya comes out like fucking Michael Jordan and ends that. Like, so the other thing, when Dany is attacking King's Landing, right?
Right.
Here's a couple of things that I thought of. When she snaps
When she snaps
on the dragon, you never see her face again.
Mhm.
She just goes toasting the entire city and going after the Red Keep. So here's some things that I thought about. I was like, her snapping seems like such a drastic change. Why don't,
Wasn't that the main complaint everybody had? Like, it just came out of nowhere?
Yeah, I mean, at least, like, why not, like, while she's on the dragon, like, burning everybody, losing her shit, why don't you show her, like, going manic and fucking crying?
I think
Why doesn't she attack the Red Keep and into collateral damage of her trying to kill Cersei? That causes the destruction of the city.
Okay, I will disagree that they didn't show Cersei snapping because they kind of sorry, not Cersei, Dany snapping. I'm sorry, well, I'm gonna get paid. A couple episodes prior to that, they dropped little bits of symptoms of madness. When she had that discussion with the other lords about trying to take over King's Landing, and when she had to come to, she's fighting herself. That's like the opposition of like someone who is going to go mad when they're fighting themselves and like, this is what I truly believe in, this is what should be done. And then these are others, it's like, no, fuck y'all. This is what, like, fuck everyone else what they think that should be. It's my thing. I want to do it. And so you have that juxtaposition, that dichotomy. And I think that's what really, like, I like that. As much as I love good storytelling, I kind of just want to see chaos happen. And as someone who enjoys chaos, that was the epitome of chaos.
It hit that checkpoint.
Yes.
Right?
Here's a question for you.
Okay.
What is an example of a show that doesn't have enough storytelling for you, and then what's one
that chaos?
And then what's one that has like no story and you just fucking love it?
Like Crank.
It's like Crank. There was a movie that had one
like
plot.
For me,
Right,
like the one that has like lacking storytelling, but I still love it is Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Like, Demon Slayer's story is like super mediocre, but it's just so beautiful looking.
I think of all time, I would say Bleach, because Bleach is one of those shows where I grew up with Bleach. Same people who grew up with One Piece, which that's another hill down. I hate One Piece, but
I just started.
It's like I don't like One Piece, but we can. That's not a flood. That's a tsunami about to head to mainland.
We'll be on here.
I've heard the card game's great.
I know. I heard it's popping off. Like,
Right?
Bless to them. Bless to that company. I'm here for that. Fuck the anime. Anyways, okay, so the show that has no plot, but I enjoy watching, definitely One Piece. And then the other one you said, a show that has all action and
like they try to make plot.
And they try to make plot. I think
Dragon Ball Z.
No, not no. There's one before that.
It's Let Me See Them Fight.
It's like power fantasies are inherently skewed because the whole purpose of power fantasies is to be the strongest and then go above your belief.
That's why I love One Punch Man.
This is why Goku can always be Superman. Like that's the whole.
That's why I love One Punch Man because it's almost
Batman. Hold on.
Hold up.
Batman with prep time.
Here we go.
time.
Right. No. What I love about One Punch Man is Saitama is actually like rarely the main focus of the story.
Oh, well.
Yeah, he's always like off in the background shopping or doing some shit and then shows up at the last minute when like fucking Moment Rider has like gotten the dog shit beat out of him.
It really makes the episode just.
Yeah.
But like this man's getting dogged. It's
Yeah.
like Toma just comes in and is like, man, do I have to do everything for you? And just like accidentally sticks out his hand and the opponent just goes into it. The famous bull punch scene when like just like that the ninja just accidentally is like, what are you doing? And just like this slow-mo action of his balls just touching the tip of his fist. And it just caused massive pain.
I already know how the next like the most dangerous conflicting arc of One Punch Man is gonna go. He's gonna throw a punch and he's gonna miss.
Ooh.
Well, they were built. The last season was building it up so that one martial arts dude, like who's like calls himself the monster or whatever, is like looking to take on Saitama because he's the only person who like he's afraid of.
Right.
But I love how the show actually becomes about the people around Saitama, right? Because this nigga is literally the strongest person on the planet. So it's like his conflict. There is no conflict for him. Right? It's about Genos like figuring out like how to become the hero he wants to be.
He loses to Popeye though.
Oh, 100%. Oh, I got you though on the other one. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is just all action, somewhat plot.
Ooh.
Yes. And I'm here for
that's true.
Chainsaw Man is all action, sometimes a plot.
Have you seen that like people are like shitting on it and they're like the animation is all crappy and I'm like, yo, are you people really having like this high expectations for a show named Chainsaw Man?
By the way, the artist, he's 28 years old, 29 years old. Like, imagine being that fucking young and drawing art animation like that. I just roll over and just die at that point.
I mean, I was making fantastic art when I was 19, so...
All right, where's your studio?
I can't understand.
It's like, okay, where's your studio? Mappa and...
You should check out my Google Drive, sir.
I honestly thought you would hit me with that deviant art.
I have some shit on Displate.
Oh.
Apparently, some people have bought some shit on Displate. I just don't have enough to cash out yet.
You're just waiting on that. So going back to Game of Thrones, it's one of those shows that, so one of the things about the last 3 episodes is like, so after the night with the Nightwalkers, the burning of King's Landing, you just have the aftermath.
People also give the last season way too much shit and forget how visually stunning
exactly
it was.
Exactly. And that's why I say it was okay. Because while the plot had its flaws, it wasn't, and even though it kind of erased our memories for years until the House of Dragons, which, by the way, if y'all watched it,
I watched it twice.
So yeah, and so it's getting people back in. So if you have not watched it, I recommend watching it. Give it a chance. I think the whoever's team did the last season got fired, got removed. They were doing different things.
They had to get them out.
Here's my advice to all Game of Thrones fans or people who are interested in the series. So watch seasons 1 through 6, and then find the highest rated fan fiction on Earth.
There's so much extra
and then just be content with what you read.
There's so much extra work to have to get invested in the show, so and that's why I'm
you know what's even better? Getting invested in fan fiction.
Yeah.
As an independent writer, please read my fan fiction.
To be fair, as fan fiction and webcomics, you know, there's
One Punch Man started as a webcomic.
Tower of God started as a webcomic. A couple of successful manga from webtoon or webcomic, whatever the show is. Sorry, my website is transfers it like anime, and then it hits. So yeah, it really depends.
Didn't Love, Death, and Robots?
Yes, that also started as one.
Yeah.
It was okay. Love, Death, Robots. Okay, this is another hill I will die on. I love what's the type of genre, like biopics, like the Animatrix, Love, Death, and Robots, all that genre We need more of it. Like, we do not get enough
Oh,
of
so
that.
you want more of God? What is the word for that?
There's a certain genre for it that's
Yeah.
like listed.
Yeah, there's a specific kind of
Serialized?
I think it's non-serialized though, right? Because serialized,
Episodic?
yeah. I think it's Guillermo del Toro has one on Netflix now called like Cabinet of Curiosities, right?
He
And
does.
it's different horror stories from different directors and stuff like that in the style of Crypt Keeper. Or
Hey,
whatever.
Doc. Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
How often do you get Guillermo del Toro and Benicio del Toro confused? Because I get them confused all the time.
They are two very different people.
They are, I have found out.
I do wonder if they're like low-key related in some like long distance kind
I
of
also
way, but-
forget how, like, hilarious Benicio del Toro actually is. He
So-
was doing comedy with, like, a weird group. Like, you know who's also fucking hilarious? John Hamm, a.k.a. Don Draper.
Never heard of him.
Mad Men?
Oh! Now I get it. I just started watching Mad Men.
It's toasted.
So, as far as your island goes, I cannot really confirm whether or not it floats because I did not watch any of Game of Thrones. I do agree with you guys that it is visually stunning, right? It just was not visually stunning enough to keep me like interested. Even the Red Wedding, I watched it. I watched the whole scene.
Let's be honest, nobody expected that. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
going back to Game of Thrones, did you participate in who's gonna be on the throne? Like the prediction, like did you cast a vote on who you thought was going to be on the throne at the end of it all?
I wrote in Nymeria.
Yeah.
Nymeria is a direwolf. Do you know who I voted for in the 2016 presidential election? Greg Popovich. Do you know who that is?
It sounds familiar.
He's the coach of the San Antonio Spurs. If he can make the playoffs in the Western Conference for 21 years in a row,
Yeah, he can be president.
he can probably run the country.
That's fair. It's
by,
not just
by that logic, we need Jay-Z as president, right? Like,
Sure,
if you can go
sure,
from something
sure.
right to something.
sure.
Sure.
You know what? Be part of someone's cabinet of finance. Probably better than what we have right now.
No, seriously. I mean, like, he's got the Rock Nation label. I mean, like,
Just put him on.
Jay-Z has successful businesses
Yo, the
and is an
dreads-
actual
I
billionaire.
want a
Why didn't
president-
we vote for him instead of Trump?
I want a president with Jay-Z's dreads, right? Like,
Could you imagine Trump just comes into office just with like orange dreads?
Oh.
Just like comes up and like, what's up? Like, what's up, my N word?
Hold on.
And this
Hey,
just
everybody.
comes-
I would like to announce my running mate for 2024. Please welcome to the stage, Post Malone.
Oh my god. The entire Magic community would just be in chaos. It would just erupt itself. It would just be like,
Mark Rosewater would be chief of staff.
no. He would put his bid and he gets rejected because everything else.
I feel so bad for Mark Rosewater.
Yes and no. Yes and no. There's a yes and no for me. Like, so okay, let's talk about the positives that he has done for the community. He was starred in several key sets like Innistrad and Theros and Constarkir, and as much as like trying to keep the Magic lore integrated with the sets. That I understand. It's a hard life, and I will never discuss.
You know the meme where like the guy is like leaning over somebody, just taking all of the arrows?
Yes.
I feel like that's Mark Rosewater
Oh
right now.
yeah. Now, but like, man.
He's like, guys, we're reprinting the Power 9.
Yeah, it's. Again, I feel bad for this
Every
man.
single verified Wizard of the Coast or Magic the Gathering account that I see like tweet, I just respond to them, fuck you.
That's amazing.
Every time.
This is every time.
Every time.
Hey,
what else
there's
is
no,
there to
there's,
say at this point?
there's nothing like it's you're
Like
beating a dead
everybody
horse.
else
You're
is
beating a dead horse.
Everybody else is trying to be like clever and everything. And I'm just and before Elon took over, they would be like, this is offensive. And it got to the point where I was like, fuck you. By the way, Twitter, yes, I know this is offensive.
Just call him out. That's what you have to do. And Twitter, well, now Twitter. Okay, so
Fucking
prediction time. How long do you think Elon's gonna last in Twitter?
All right, so no, here's the thing. So, you know how Elon put that vote?
Yeah, the vote
who
of
should-
like,
Yeah.
So Snoop Dogg
yeah.
put a vote up like
Yeah.
immediately after. And they were like, should I run Twitter? And it was like, literally like 72% were like, yes, faux shizzle. Like,
You know, Tesla is already like asking him to step down as the CEO of Tesla.
Oh,
they're
because their stocks are shit.
yo, and
Their stocks are shit. Still crumbling down.
they're like,
crumbling
he's
down,
not here.
crumbling
He's
down.
spending all his time on fucking Twitter. Right?
yeah, which
Like,
is like, it's wild because Tesla and Apple were, for the longest, considered like, they are the blue chips.
Right.
well, not anymore. Not anymore. He is single-handedly like devaluing both companies at the same time, and like not even really trying.
Elon Musk is the first person in world history
To lose.
to lose $200 billion.
Do you know how? Like, do you want to know? Like, I mean, Magic Card to buy with $200 billion. You could just buy out Watsy. Hey, Watsy, I have $200 billion.
Oh my god.
I would like to.
Can we start a GoFundMe?
To get Elon Musk to buy Watsy.
No,
No.
for the community to buy Watsy and then
Just
turn it into a
crowdfund it?
proletariat dream scheme.
So
Hi,
what-
Ted.
So what you? So what
Oh,
you,
so our
so what you want to do is a GameStop run on Watsy.
More just like, all the Magic, just figuratively, all the Magic players and Magic investors go to Watsy's headquarters with fire and sticks and just be like, we would like to talk.
hold on,
Charlotte, that shit.
ski masks and zip ties.
January 6th.
Except this time, we'll plan ahead. Hi, Ted.
I'm pretty
Hi,
sure
Ted.
they planned it.
I feel
Our,
like-
so, you know, everybody has their NSA
Yeah.
or CIA agent, so we named ours Ted.
Mhm,
Ted the Fed.
mhm,
hmm
mhm.
I got a shirt for me and him. You know the old World War II propaganda, he's watching you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that and it just says, hi, Ted.
That's amazing. No, we just go up to Watsy, just like I don't want to say just like January 6th, but like the organization part of it, but like none of like the negative part of it.
All right, so
none of the negative part of
we
it.
won't go
We're-
full
we're-
January 6th. We'll go Black Panthers at the Capitol?
I
Most
would
likely
say
Does that work?
Yeah, most likely.
Like,
Yeah,
we'll
I can
just
compromise.
stand there with AKs.
what?
But without AKs, cards. Because they all are from Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you can kill somebody with some cards.
Speaking of killing people with cards, I saw on TikTok a clip from X-Men, the animated series.
Oh my god!
And yeah, it's the best intro theme song of all time. We all know it. But, like, it was Rogue and Gambit talking in the kitchen, and I was just like, whoever's doing this fucking Cajun accent for Gambit, they straight up just, they sound like a black dude in this
I wouldn't go that far, but whoever did Game
Oh
of
no,
Thrones
I
acting
am
in
going
that
to need to show you it again.
No, I watch it regularly. I have Disney Plus, dog.
Nice.
You also have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even for that. I watch
He's like, I don't know what I want to listen to. Going through YouTube. Oh, fuck it. X-Men theme song. Alright. Oh shit, there's an episode of X-Men after this?
Literally, it's full blast. Everybody in the house is just like, Dad, turn it down. Like, the theme song is blaring throughout the house.
No, that's me in the Yu Yu Hakusho theme song.
Oh.
It
If 80s anime, sorry, was it the 80s or 90s?
was 90s.
90s. It came out in
But that
93.
theme song was
93,
very
okay.
80s.
Yeah, okay, it's like 80s, 90s theme song. That, Yu Yu Hakusho.
A mulberry is a tree. Kubara is a man. I will never watch that series sub because what's the point? It's
Right.
actually just inferior to no.
That's
not a hot take.
No, actually, I will.
That is
I will
not a
agree.
hot take.
I will agree with him on this. There's a lot of
not.
anime. So there is a lot of anime that I will watch dubbed than sub. And Yu Yu Hakusho, Kurumi Kenshin, Big O,
Full Metal Brotherhood.
Full Metal Brotherhood, certain episodes, but like Dragon Ball Z, even
Hold on, question.
Dragon Ball Z
Is Piccolo black?
so weird.
Yeah, Piccolo's black.
All right, so
Do we
this
really-
apparently
do we have to
this is
hash this
apparently
out?
a very divisive topic
Oh,
in
no.
UAL.
Not really.
Yes,
really.
this is a very. All right, so are you a part of
This
the
is-
Facebook group Urban Anime Lounge?
No.
Apparently, I don't know.
This is not good.
I snuck in.
You snuck
I
in.
snuck in,
Like,
and they haven't kicked me out yet.
Okay.
I think it's because I had my profile picture at the time was me and Falcon, and Falcon was in front, and they were like, "Oh man, Dan Glennon, there's a white guy in the back, but he's in the back."
Right, like a black guy. with a black
Right. It's like,
So
you know
now
what?
they're like commenting and shit, like, and he's like, "This is apparently a very divisive topic among your delegation, from what I've seen on the
I
outside."
don't like the way you say
Delegation.
it.
Your delegation.
Delegation. Hold on, wait.
Your-
Wait, is this a race shot from Dave Chappelle?
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's
Way of the Chinese
No,
delegation.
we have been doing this
We've
the very
co-opted the term.
yeah. So like the cookout, I have brunch.
Okay.
White people have.
Yeah,
But people have punch, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
you're invited to brunch.
Although I will say black women are slowly taking that from y'all. You might
Well,
wanna
no,
do
it's called
something-
drag brunch, so the gays are taking that. The gays, it's called drag brunch for
Yeah.
a reason. So it's yours now, but not for long.
Not for long.
Don't worry.
Between the gays
If black
and the
women
black
are taking brunch, white women are taking oppression.
Karen specifically, I will give it that.
Karen is a racist term.
But so my very first job outside of college, my procurement. I was in construction, right? So
Okay.
I do construction and like mechanical, electrical, plumbing, shit, right?
Okay.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
It's
Continue.
So we had a lady named Karen. We had a lady named Karen, and she is the blackest, whitest woman you will ever meet in your life. And she will come up to work talking about like last night how she fingered this guy's booty hole, just like at work. And I was just like,
Show me your booty.
like his booty hole.
it's just like you
open
are.
book type shit.
Yeah,
right?
no, she's very open book. And so one day,
Okay.
one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you on this. I'm gonna fuck you on our office desk." And I just turned around. I was like, "Can you like do it in the other office?" I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to. Like, y'all are the same
not
age as
gonna
my parents.
right.
I don't want to hear that. Y'all can just go in that office. And
My man said, "Look, I'm not gonna report y'all to HR or anything. I just don't want to be witness to it."
I'm like this young 22-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
if y'all could just not
Get
do
on with
that.
that freakiness right
That'd
here.
be great. So going back to Piccolo. So the Nemepians.
Back to Piccolo.
So the
This is important.
Namekians. There you go. That took so much forever. Are black people. Because Frieza keeps calling them monkeys.
Okay, so I can continue on this. So I'll carry this up, even though he's the logical one that should follow up. But as a straight white American man,
Yes.
I can say he's just kind of always sounded black. And and I grew up and I was like, man, there's always positive male black role models in pop culture. So
I mean, let's be honest. That's okay.
I grew up with, the Bernie Mac show, the Cosby show.
The Bernie Mac show was just built different. It was wholesome comedy, colored vibes.
Colored vibes is a perfect way to describe
Colored
Bernie
vibes.
Mac.
Colored vibes. There's anything I learned from my management training is trying to be diverse and PC at the same time.
Yeah.
The Bernie Mac show was like what the Bill Cosby show had been like if Bill wasn't so
Creepy.
hooked on trying to like impress white people
All the time.
like he was like, you know, and no disrespect to the show, right? Because it really did like break ground in the fact that like black people hadn't been seen like that on TV before. It was like Good Times and shit like that. Like
And Living Color too.
I think there's been a pretty like natural progression from like Bill Cosby, the Cosby Show, to Bernie Mac to Blackish though. Like,
but Bernie though.
Bernie though,
Bernie was like in your face. I don't care if you don't like it. Then fuck you. Like,
the Bernie Mac show was comedy gold.
It was. I felt like it was part. It was right before Dave Chappelle's first run with the Dave Chappelle show, the skit show on Comedy Central. That was just. He did not give two fucks who you were. He you will be offended. You will be offended.
No, Dave was.
That's how I feel about Dave now.
Dave now. I feel like Dave is trying too hard, right? Like
it's a mix, you know.
I feel like Dave's got a bone to pick.
I feel like it's like Eminem, where
Yeah,
Eminem is one of those people where, no disrespect, he is a generation that grew up with the tough times, and he fought, and he now look at him, he's 40 or 50, I forgot his age.
He's probably in his 50s.
And,
Him?
you know, I think, you know, he's trying to get that young energy out, but the audience has changed. It's like the people that he grew up with are different now.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I feel like
Dave Chappelle is coming off as like grumpy old man
Right.
now, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are offended at my jokes. You used to love me," and it's like, "All right, Dave, like we're not mad at you. We're just saying, hey, maybe look at it a little bit differently."
Because your audience, like, let's all be honest. From 2000 to 2000, I want to say 12, 13, comedy was unfiltered, unedited. Was just, you had the roast of X, the roast of Pamela Anderson, Dan Cook, and what other, like, it was. There was no filter. You had drawn together.
That brand of comedy was built for people who came up in Xbox Live chat rooms, and
Real quick aside, I've said this before to Doc. If Deadpool was made in the 2000s, it would be played by Dan Cook.
Wasn't Deadpool made in the 2000s?
We don't talk about that one.
We don't talk about that movie. We don't talk about
that one.
It was still played by Ryan.
If it was made in 2003, it would be Dane Cook.
Take this drink. It's not full form. Just forget it all happened. Just forget.
That's not logical.
Okay, so I will say that your island
it's
a sandbar. It kind of shifts.
It's a moving waters. It's like the water temple from
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, everybody hates it because it's so difficult to beat it.
All right, so
I was gonna say it's a
did you know
right?
that
like,
in the water
temple
temple,
here for a minute.
like you could fuck up the water temple to where you actually can't solve it?
Yes, I know that because I saw it.
And the biggest problem with the water temple, and they fixed this in the remake.
Yeah,
but
I love that dynamic. The fact that like you can fuck up a thing in a game and not be able to like. It's
But the thing
it
is,
presents a challenge that's like, oh damn, now the stakes are high.
But
right?
in the original one, you would raise the tower and you would just see the platform go up.
Yeah.
In the remake, you'd see the platform go up, and then the camera would zoom out and zoom back in and be like, "There's a room down here."
Yeah, don't miss that.
And because of that, that's what fucks everyone on the water temple, is they don't realize there's a fucking room underneath the raising platform in the column.
I mean, you know, sometimes what's a bug in Nintendo days? Like,
no, Nintendo designed Ocarina of Time. They're like, oh man, I mean, like, this is a great, rich story and everything, but this is still a Zelda game. How do we make people fucking hate it?
Do you think Majora's Mask should just be part of Ocarina of Time?
No, I think it's fine as a separate game.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
It's a standalone title?
I think it should be part of it. I think it should be. It's like, I get the dynamic of time reversal, time forward as the way to progress the game. I'd rather just have it part of like a 3D series like Final Fantasy 3.
You know what?
Sorry, not 3,
so would
7.
Nintendo, but they were dead set on using cartridges.
Yes. We need to use these extra cartridges that we're not going to use at all.
Culture and context, people.
Exactly.
You would be playing Final Fantasy 15 on the Switch. Have fun with those frame rates.
Because it's like, oh my god, could you just imagine just trying to play Final Fantasy 7 on the Switch like back in the day? Like, with all the glitchiness and just... I was just like,
I can, because I can play Final Fantasy 7 on my Switch now.
But like, when it first...
And it's remastered. It's very sharp polygon.
It's remastered.
Oh my god.
Right, what is that remastered bullshit?
I love... Alright, so...
33-bit graphics.
32.
Right. Like, what? It runs a little bit faster.
I feel... Okay, a little bit on Final Fantasy real quick. I enjoy Final Fantasy games for what they do because they're all standalone in their own little universe. Up until we got into 7 and the whole like, oh my god, this is a hot selling ticket item. We need to expand the universe, so we're going to make all these sub games.
Well, hold on. Didn't you know that 12, 10, and Tactics are all related somehow?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
I just roll over and just die.
The best thing about Final Fantasy X is Blitzball. The best thing about Final Fantasy VIII is the card game. And the best Final Fantasy is Tactics.
I don't have a strong opinion about Tactics, honestly. I don't. Like, I don't have a strong opinion about it one way or the other.
You need to play it, and we need to take a break.
You take a sound, any sound, record it, and then change its nature by a multiplicity of operations. You record it at different speeds, you play it backwards, you add it to itself over and over again. You adjust filters, echoes, acoustic qualities, you combine segments of magnetic tape. By these means and many others, you can create sounds which no one has ever heard before.
It's really good that when you have productions like that, when you know the person's like relationship, it amplifies the experience tenfold. I feel like people who do theater have to have that skill. Yeah, it's a skill. It's a skill. Like
it is. It really is. That's like, you know, one of my, I feel like my abilities is being able to seamlessly move in between different spaces, as you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
And you know, my ability to be in different scenes and like areas of Baltimore and stuff like that, right? And then also be doing fucking theater at South River High School. And
Hi, Social Chameleon.
Hi.
I'm perfect example.
Yeah. You are. I mean, I think you're one of the first social comedians in Magic that I met. Because like, wow.
Yeah, starts from playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
That whole Magic scene.
Like, you played Yu-Gi-Oh. I am the minority in that crowd.
Which I still say. So I actually think that Yu-Gi-Oh is getting better. Because I think the toxic people that for that time period between 2000 and like when Yu-Gi-Oh started to become more.
Calvin Tahan still plays.
So while you have your outliers and people thieving, the level of the bullshittery is there, but because there's now a different format that allows the older generation to basically play without dealing with like, oh god, I sound like a boomer when I say this. I'm glad that we have our own formats that we can play, so fuck these kids.
I have never link summoned in my life.
Never have I. So yeah,
never have I ever link summoned.
Oh my god, everyone looked. She's like, oh my god, how old are you? Do you have kids? Do you have a mortgage?
No, and no. And yes, I'm single.
See, that's how you get girls in this podcast. Yeah. Now it is.
By the way, did I mention I'm an elected official?
So that's what you need. You need a scandal. I got you. I got the perfect guy for you. We're good. Your scandal's gonna be that you're gay.
Is it Cher?
Are you calling Cher trans?
I was gonna say Anderson Silva. I was gonna say Anderson Cooper.
You know.
If we're talking about things that are absurd, How about I bring this in?
I feel
Did
like
you
it's
know-
not that absurd, though.
Did you know that Disney submitted Thor: Love and Thunder for Best Picture?
For Love and Thunder.
For Love and
scenes,
Thunders?
For best, right?
For Best Picture.
I mean, it's pretty.
Is the movie is it the movie pretty or is Chris Hemsworth pretty?
No comment.
So I feel like that's the issue with a lot of movies, right? Like, and I don't know if that's an issue. There's a lot of visually stunning pieces being put forward, but I don't feel like there's a lot.
Like
being
My
put
biggest
into
problem with that
substance.
movie is the giant letdown of how they utilized 80s metal.
Right.
Substance. There's
Substance.
no fucking substance.
They just relied way too heavy on GNR.
I feel like also a lot of people trying to stick up the Totally Strange vibe, where the Totally Strange was specifically for this generation.
Yeah.
For
Stranger
Things.
Yeah.
It takes place in the 80s.
80s, but
okay,
they
80s.
progressed to like the 90s. and
But like
stuff.
each
Yeah.
season progressed through a story.
Yeah.
So
Through a decade. Right.
right, and so now you have other mediums trying to copy that and make it so they profit off of that. And I don't think it's working out for them because I don't think they realize, like, in order to grab it, like, the best example was this past Super Bowl halftime show. Every single artist that was on that stage was our generation. But
K-Dot, like, is in the middle.
K-Not is the middle, but like Eminem.
No, K-Dot is totally our generation, right?
Because he came out when we were in middle school.
By the way, also, apparently, no, he came out when I was sophomore in college.
Yeah, Kendrick.
Good Kid, Mad City came out when I was a sophomore in
Okay,
college.
but for somebody who digs into the underground as I do,
You told me about
has
Kendrick
been
when
around
we were
since
working
we were
at
in,
CVS.
Like, high school and shit.
You told me about
Right,
Kendrick
yeah.
when we were at CVS.
So
Right, that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Cartoons and
yeah,
cereal.
Kendrick is from our generation. The artist that we grew up with totally dominated the Super Bowl, as
Yeah.
KT was saying, right? Like, so it truly speaks to the fact that like we are the dominant culture,
Right. The shift is now us.
Yeah.
When's the last time we had the lens shifted to us, the 90s kids?
When Pete Buttigieg announced his run for president?
You are truly an elected official.
Yeah.
You are truly.
Right, because I
A
was
Democratic elected official.
I was gonna say, is there anybody who's more problematically gay than Pete Buttigieg, right?
I think.
Just remember, it's like the fourth or fifth thing they mentioned about it.
I feel like.
They emphasize that it's the fourth or fifth thing they mentioned about it.
I think with Buttigieg is that his shade clapback is perfect. I think if there's anything about him, is that anytime they come after for him, his marriage, his husband, anything like that, he just simply crosses his legs and just uses his privilege, and it's amazing.
Yes.
It's just a class
That's
of
my
show.
point.
It's a class of show.
He's the
Pete
perfect
Buttigieg.
example of privileged white gay.
Pete Buttigieg is Bowie to Obama's Prince.
I can see that. Prince is a strong word. Like, I'm sure there's a step down of Prince that we're missing.
Right, because Prince is not gay. First
Neither
and
is
foremost.
Bowie.
No.
Bowie experimented.
Thank you.
You.
I don't
He
know if
probably
Prince did.
slept with Keith Richards. Was it just the two of them? I'm not sure.
Nobody can know. Nobody was in that back then.
Yeah.
Unless you were.
Have you seen The Last Dance, the Bulls documentary?
No.
So there was an episode in there where they featured Dennis Rodman. And Jordan had to go, because apparently on their days off, like, Phil Jackson would just, like, let Dennis go to Vegas.
Okay.
Just, like, go to Vegas. And apparently they had a
I like how
playoff
you
game
said
coming
go
up, and Jordan had to go find Dennis. And he said, in the interview, he says, I won't say what was in the bed with Dennis and Carmen Electra. He didn't say who. He said what.
You know, you're at a 10. And it's saying a lot because I'm normally the loudest person. I need you to bring down to at least 5. I know you can do that. I trusted you. I don't want to be mad at you. I don't want to be disappointed in you.
Hey man, I'm gonna be the one that edits this, so.
true.
Yeah, but I'm the one who has to make the bed.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about Thor: Love and Thunder, I do want to lead into an adaptation of a segment, precluding with one of our other segments, and I need to give a championship ring.
With 3 in the bottom of 9th inning to become the world champions yet again.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible! Got a really big team, and they need some really big rings. They need some really nice things. Better be coming with no strings. Better.
Okay.
To Jalen and Jacoby.
I thought you was about to give a championship ring to Thor: Love and Thunder, and I was
Fuck that. The Academy's not going to do that either. I need to give my championship ring to Jalen and Jacoby, who, for some reason, to be determined as of right now, Jacoby decided to leave ESPN, ending the run of giving the people what they want. Jalen and Jacoby is one of my major influences for wanting to start this podcast. Watching that listening to that podcast made me really appreciate the white-black dynamic and how we can actually have fun with it on this pod without being problematic. And I want to remember Jalen and Jacoby, so I want to carry on their legacy with their signature segment, Soft Move or Boss Move.
Moving on, it's time for Soft Move or Boss Move.
I thought you were about to say, like, I want to honor their segment. So I built this shrine.
They're on our backboard right here.
No,
Jalen and Jacoby.
No, but it's black and white. I'm talking about like in living color.
that shit.
Anyway.
That shit came out of nowhere like the Jesus and Meros, right? Like they just like all of a sudden them niggas went on break, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're not coming back."
We're not coming back.
However, Jacoby did post a picture of him and Jalen at the Michigan football game.
Okay.
He was like, "Hey, selfie!"
Yeah.
And Jalen was fried out of his mind. You can tell in the picture, like sunglasses on, and he's not looking at the camera. He's like looking through the camera.
Look, and that's better than Jesus and Mero though, because them two niggas haven't been seen anywhere other than shading each other on Twitter.
No, they're like it has been proven that Jalen and Jacoby are still brothers, and that's the important part for me.
What's extra funny?
But here's the thing though. Were there any have you seen this person posters about?
What's funny is Jesus and Mero used to always joke about how this is how the pod would end. And it's literally how the fucking pod... They got famous and then they started beefing over money. And
I feel like we need to now beef over how the pod is going to end over something ridiculous. So when it actually just falls apart because of money.
I have some notes after we end the episode.
I have some notes. I have an attorney. I have legal team.
We want prenup!
Precursor.
Anyway, so we'll get down into the soft move or boss move, and this is a double-sided soft move or boss move because it can come from a soft move or boss move from either side. So it has been reported that Disney offered Don Cheadle a 6-movie contract to continue to play War Machine with a 2-hour deadline to respond. While he was at his son's laser tag birthday party.
Okay, first of all.
Soft move or boss move for Disney to do that. And then soft move or boss move for Cheadle to say yes.
TK.
I'm just thinking about the laser tag.
I would want to play laser tag.
I will say, they originally gave him a 1-hour deadline. To which he said he's at his son's birthday party, and then they said, "Okay, we'll give you 2 hours."
Okay, so short of stay. I think so. We're defining soft as like that's acceptable, and boss is like, you're out of
Boss,
here.
no. Boss is like, oh fuck yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Soft move is like, dog.
Oh, so the inverse what I thought.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the short end of my position is, it is a soft move for Disney, and it's a boss move for Don. And
Boss move for him to take the deal.
yeah, boss move for him to take the deal. Soft move for Disney because like I keep hearing like, oh, Disney's a family company. They only care about their values and their morals.
I've heard that about Walmart, Target, Food Lion. Only one that says that, and I might believe it, is Wegmans. Like,
oh, they both say Wendy's. So, or Waffle House, because hashtag Waffle House Wendy. Anyways,
you know, Waffle House is like, every Waffle House has like nuclear bunker plans.
I believe it.
Yeah.
If you're around for that long, obviously you need to have some plans.
Yeah.
So going back to Disney, why I think it's a soft move, I feel as an executive, I need to weigh my options. Who is pressuring me to make this deadline as it is now? And can I fight back with them and say, no, this is a human. We're going to disrespect him as a human.
And this is really strange because Bob Iger just came back as Disney CEO.
Yeah.
So it's not. I want to believe this was not by Iger's decision.
This seems very not Iger.
This is a not Iger thing. This is his replacement. Well, the fuck it was.
Yeah, his replacement he now very much regrets.
Yes, this is his thing. I don't know.
Like the reason that Disney Plus, like
the same
like
way
Disney
Jack
Plus
Dorsey
had so much hype.
Regrets his replacement.
Disney Plus had so much hype, and then Iger stepped down, and then Disney Plus launched.
Yeah. No, but I mean, Disney Plus actually raked in with like over 250,000 new subscribers this year.
It was the biggest picking up subscriber streaming service
of the
still
year.
very far behind Netflix though.
But also, to be fair, Netflix had what, a 10-year lead in.
Yeah, right. And they still
I mean, they were going in the DVD era.
Did you hear about the Blockbuster?
Netflix got canceled. Blockbuster twice.
So this is now the third time Blockbuster got canceled.
Yo,
it is so bad. It's so funny.
No, like the thing is, I was talking to Periwinkle, and Periwinkle's like, "How do they stay in business?" I'm like, purely because of the existence of the name and the logo.
Yeah.
Blockbuster?
Yes,
There's only one Blockbuster left.
that license of the logo and the name itself is worth enough to keep a single store in business.
I think the last store is in like.
It's in Seattle.
It's in Seattle.
It's right next to Wizards of the Coast headquarters.
Are you serious? It's
No.
Okay. I was like, I want to be like, you could have told me that.
Yeah, no, it was the Wizards of the Coast headquarters, and then it's the Wizards of the Coast headquarters, and then it's the last Blockbuster, and then it's the Kurt Cobain Museum.
I thought you were gonna say the original Starbucks.
No, that's next door.
No, that's down. That's actually down the street from the HQ. But
Take another 3 blocks and make a left. You get to the Seattle Supersonic.
Awkward.
They'll get another team in a couple of years.
Hey! Look, Las Vegas just got a team. All right, they finally
For
got
football,
Yeah.
basketball, we're probably gonna get 2 expansion franchises in the next 5 years.
Maybe basketball
Vegas
teams
and
right now?
Seattle is for sure. Like, there's 30.
30. Okay, so 32 makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't have an odd team. That someone's gonna feel left out like a birthday party.
You know who I feel like needs a basketball team? Delaware. I feel like Delaware
Doesn't need a pro sport.
period.
They already have Joe Biden.
Ew. I would not be happy with that. No, bring Baltimore. Baltimore needs a basketball team.
Okay, so this is
We had one, and then Washington stole it.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's with Baltimore and getting their sports team stolen? I saw a tweet. Some Colts fan tweeted he's just like, something, you'll have loyalty in Indy. And I had to resist every single fucking urge to just tweet back and to be like, y'all haven't been loyal since the 80s.
I mean,
And then they would be like, what are you talking about? And I would just respond with, Mayflower trucks. Eat shit.
To be fair, man, to be fair, Indy is his own.
You know, every single time that the Ravens play a game at home, they will say the full name of the team or the city, except when the Colts come to town, and it just says Indy.
Yeah. Indianapolis. Yep. Yeah.
Literally just says Indy. We refuse to acknowledge them as the Colts or as Indianapolis.
Well, I mean,
because they were stolen
overnight.
Literally overnight. Like this was Ocean's.
How do we get back to Indianapolis? Right. By stealing Cleveland's team.
Do we want that though? Do you want Cleveland though? Well, here's the thing.
Well, we turned the Browns into the Ravens, and in the first draft we took Ogden and Ray Lewis. So I think it worked out.
And so, look at where the Ravens are now.
And now they're down a really important player.
I think they got knocked out of the playoffs today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because their lead player wasn't playing today.
Lamar?
Yeah.
I didn't know Lamar was out today.
Yeah.
He's still going to get paid $350 gajillion.
Oh, dude, his rookie season is like, this was his last rookie season, right? I feel like it's
he's up for an extension.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's walking in there like Marlo Stanfield. Price of the brick going up.
He just wants gold brick. He just literal gold brick. So back on topic. What's next? Oh, sorry. So going back to the soft move versus soft move. I said my piece. What about your pieces?
Look, I feel like these big corporations trying to flex on these actors is part of the reason why Hollywood is so fucked up now. Right? The same reason why like all the pacing and the writing seems awkward. Six movies seems crazy. Don Cheadle is what, like 56? Is that like? So I mean, Sam is still.
He looks 38.
Hey man, black don't crack.
That's what I've been told.
But
I'm aiming for the Anderson Cooper thing. All right.
I have full faith in you.
I think I got it.
I think you'll be a mini Anderson Cooper.
I mean, like, I get told that I look like Cameron from Ferris Bueller, and I look at Alan Ruck now, and like, have you seen Succession?
No.
Have you seen?
Yes.
All right, yeah. So Alan Ruck is in Succession. He's, I think, the brother who doesn't actually give a fuck. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Still has a full head of hair. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a soft move for Disney to try and, like, flex on him by being like, you got 1 hour to sign this contract.
Oh, 100%.
Like, they always try to put that kind of put pressure on
They gave him a second.
Yeah, because he was at his son.
Yeah, you had to run another round of laser tag.
Yo,
exactly.
I do think it was, once again, a boss move for Don Cheadle to continue to accept the bag, because it makes...
Say it. I know what you're about. I have a feeling of what you're about to say, so say it.
It makes Terrence Howard mad. Because if you remember, it was Terrence Howard in Iron Man 1.
Okay, all right. The way you both reacted, I have to ask a question, and I may come across as an ignorant white guy. It won't be the first time.
It will not be the last.
And it won't be the last. Are y'all just like against Terrence Howard or something?
No, Terrence Howard is just, he makes it hard to like him as a person.
He's like that one person who just comes off as an asshole, and no matter how good he does, it just comes off as an asshole. That's Terrence Howard.
Like Casey Affleck?
Kind of like Ben Affleck.
Yeah, more like Ben. More like Ben than Casey.
Terrence Howard is Black Ben Affleck.
That's a stretch, but I agree with it. It's a stretch and it's horse.
Could you see? I could totally see Ben Affleck doing Hustle.
No. What if we take Good Will Hunting?
It would be like 8 Mile, but it would still be like.
Moving on to the next subject.
Hold on. Take Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
Put it in Detroit.
I hate this already.
Terrence Howard is Ben Affleck.
I hate this already.
No, I could totally.
And Michael Ealy is Matt Damon.
Yes, I could totally see that. Actually,
I want to die.
I could totally. If we did Good Will Hunting.
Sorry, my name is Tyrell Jackson again.
If we did Good Will Hunting with Terrence Howard and Michael Ealy instead of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, it would be on BET every Thanksgiving.
You know how much money that costs? You know the fucking run of the mill.
It would be directed by
you just
Tyler Perry.
I was gonna say Spike Lee.
Who would be the
No, it would totally be directed by Tyler Perry.
Robin Williams' character is Lawrence Fishburne.
If we're really like racially, Robin Williams isn't alive anymore. So who would it be now?
Richard Pryor?
Woody Allen?
Woody Allen?
No!
No, it would be Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, he's not the first time playing blackface.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
New people, so he has a track record. He can get away with that. It's fine.
He did though.
He did though.
He totally
Is that as another one? Won't be the first. Won't be the last. Y'all are just like cool with Robert Downey Jr. and Tropic Thunder.
Black people are undecided how we feel.
So there's two camps, right? There's the you couldn't hire another black actor to play this role, so you decided that it would be a good idea to hire a white person, more specifically Robert Downey Jr., put blackface and call that okay. That's that camp. And then there's the other camp is I'm willing to have suspension of disbelief and just allow this thing to occur. Those are your camps.
It's because of the irony.
The whole thing is a parody.
No,
like,
it's right. It's because of the irony. Okay, so I'm in the camp of I understand the character, right? It's the irony of the role.
Right.
Like the character.
It's a Russell Crowe parody.
The character in the movie is supposed to be playing a white actor who is so self-absorbed he thinks he can do black
things. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And
that is yes.
And I think sometimes that gets left out, and people just see Robert Downey Jr. doing blackface, and they're like, "This is fucked up." And I guess, and look, as a black person, I have to be like, "It is a little fucked up."
It was even transgressive at the time, but at the same time, you have Tom Cruise just like throwing shit everywhere and like making horrible Jewish slurs. Like,
no, but Robert, if anybody was going to do it, I will have to say, out of all the blackface that I have seen in my lifetime.
Please tell me you're putting Justin Trudeau up there.
What about Ted Danson?
Ted Danson is also up there.
Robert Downey Jr. has done the best blackface that I have ever seen. Dog, out of context, if you were an alien from like a different planet and you watched a bunch of black movies and you just snuck Tropic Thunder in, you totally would have thought that Robert Downey Jr. was like a hyper exaggerated version of a black dude.
I think Tropic Thunder falls in line with those other parody movies. I still think the best parody movie is the one with Gene Wilder and
Blazing Saddles.
Yes. That's one of the parody movies you can never retell. You can never redo it, and you just cannot. Like
it is a product of its time.
It's this time. It's one of those time keeps, those time folds where you're like, oh, like we're gonna put it in this case and seal it away, and then after so many years we're gonna open it back up, and we open it back up, and then we realize we can never take this out.
Blazing Saddles should always follow one movie, and you know what that movie is? Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, followed by Blazing Saddles.
Oh, I thought you said Wild Wild West, the original one.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that.
No, follow Blazing Saddles with the Will Smith one.
I'm surprised they
or throw a real curveball and do Idlewild.
Oh.
No.
Idlewild is so different.
You're right.
So
I was
different.
Gonna say, that is. It's like an opera almost.
Right. It's like a play mixed with some musical numbers. It's some shooting.
It's an Andre 3000 production.
If he made it.
Product of his time.
Right.
It is a product.
Okay, so what's the next thing? Actually, I know the next thing. We're talking about me because I'm an Aries right now, and all Aries people only talk about themselves. So.
It's funny because Dan is a Cancer.
I've been told that by some exes.
So the reason why Dan brought me on this podcast is because I'm actually a celebrity. So for those who don't know, I'm what's called the Black Duelist, which is a meme that has occurred in, I want to say 2010. Well, it made popularity in 2011, but the photo was taken in 2010 as my high school yearbook photo because my best friend David at the time dared me $20 to wear that to my senior photo. And I did. Because guess what? $20 back then in 2010? Yo, that's
$20 is $20.
$20 is $20. Also, the amount of Yu-Gi-Oh packs I bought? Yeah.
You bought 5.
Yes. So the story is that was summer. So we go in the summer because we know I could do the whole like senior photos and shit like that in summer. So we did that, and then over the winter, I didn't really post it anywhere except for like I didn't post it anywhere. I just kept it on my hard drive.
And it was actually in the yearbook.
Yeah, it was in the yearbook. It was actually there. So I want to say January 27th of 2011, because at some point I uploaded to my Facebook. I get a call from Casey, one of my good friends from high school, that said, "You're on College Humor front page right now." I'm like, what? It's like, yes, you're on front page on College Humor. Look it up. And like, it says, much like Yukimoto, his favorite trump card is the Black Magician.
We have an internet celebrity, everybody.
So
here.
your high school photo got turned into a...
I actually looked to see if you are on Know Your Meme.
I'm sure I'm not anymore.
You're not.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is unfortunate.
It's fine, because I also would have been in the Know Your Meme game.
You've been in, there's a Know Your Meme game?
Yeah.
And you were in it.
I was not in it.
Oh.
I was not in it. I was saying, like, if I was that, it probably, like, the two
it
were the
would
same.
still be on the
Yu-Gi-Oh! Players nowadays would be like, what the duel disc?
So,
remember the OG dual disc? The one where you had to like throw it like a frisbee?
Fun fact, that's not really a dual disc. That wasn't labeled as a dual disc.
You know what's funny?
Really?
It was a literal disc!
Yes, that's what the problem was. It was literally a disc, but it was not labeled a dual. It was a dual system. That's what the label was.
And the dual disc looked like a fucking blade Talon would use in Soul Calibur.
I've seen it.
It's literally like an ultimate frisbee, but 10 times bigger. So,
like when it like in the show when it comes out, it looks so epic.
It's like Blade.
And then you use it in life, and it's just like it looks like it just gives up halfway through. It's like, yeah.
So that happened on Sunday. Monday, I come in. All of a sudden, I'm popular now. I am everyone's favorite best friend because, fun fact, nobody knew what a meme was. So imagine people who wanted to be famous the old way, which was going to reality television like Jersey Shore and Big Brother and Love and Hip Hop. So everybody thought I was like them and is immediately going to get money. But no, that didn't turn out. So then,
did you ever make any money from it at all?
Yes.
You did?
I did make money from it later, but we'll get to there. So the the administrator called me and was like, come to the principal's office. It's like, what the fuck do I do? So I go to the principal's office. And I'm like, you need to explain this. It's like, is someone bullying you? And I'm like, no, it's a meme. So I had to explain them what a meme was.
Wow.
It's like, I'd explain them. It was like cultural.
I
didn't have a cultural drop with, as a 17-year-old, was like, you know,
putting culture in context.
Right. Exactly. Right. So imagine doing this in 2011. So I feel like the administrators thought that I was being bullied because they know what happens when I get I accidentally in middle school. I threw.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Let's just say that I alleged threw a guy by their belt loop across the floor. Like I did a WWE move that I didn't know existed.
Literally made that.
Threw him out of the house like Jazz.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I did. Allegedly, I did that. So that was that day, and then so far throughout that year, that's kind of when like my closest friends come in because they were like, "Yo, you're actually kind of cool. You want to hang out with us?" I was like, "Yeah." So we actually developed bonds, and we start hanging out. We laser tag, and I got my car, and then like we also like it was like it was fake at first, but then like like you know how every movie is like. No, you're actually like a legitimate person.
Right.
Like,
you find that
like,
bond with
right. And so that's kind of what happened. And like, to this day, like those friends I still talk to, but like all of it because my friends decided to give me $20 to do this thing. So that was high school. Now we're talking about into college and before that. Fortunately, 4chan found out where I lived.
Oh, God. 4chan.
4chan found out where I lived, and they did a prank on me.
Oh, no.
So they TP'd my yard. So they TP'd the trees in my yard. They forked my grass. They put a
What
little...
is forking your grass?
Literally putting a plastic fork in the grass.
A bunch of them.
Oh.
A bunch of them. Taking like those CBS things.
Oh.
You didn't do that? You didn't do that as a prank? As a, like, I expect white people to do this shit all the time.
Nah, normally I just threw bricks through people's windows.
Oh my god.
With notes attached to them to say, get out.
You're an official. We can't have you have these so the last
As a public official, I was throwing bricks through people's windows with notes that said "Get out" attached to them. No, I'm not.
I forgot to mention the other part of the note that says, "is a great movie."
It's a great movie. Oh my god.
It is. It is.
I feel like there was like a line break in that note, but I digress.
Page break.
Page break, got it.
Second sticky note.
And the last thing that they did was they put Cheerios on my driveway, but in the shape of a smiley face.
Oh, it is my face? Oh, not too
It's
bad.
not terrible.
I would have expected a dick.
From 4chan?
Yes. Absolutely.
So I told my friends, like, I think I got raped. Oh my god, what does that mean? This is like somebody just destroyed my property. My mom was pissed. But she understood. She's like, oh, it's just like, she thought it was like a senior prank.
Yeah. You kids are crazy.
You guys are crazy.
Like, she can't be mad at you. It's not like, yeah, I TP'd my own house.
It's like, and then it's like, but we found out it actually wasn't 4chan. But we're back to the meme.
Right.
We go to now Otakon. My very first Otakon in 2011.
I've never been, but I've actually it's on my bucket.
I have been to one when I was 12.
I went to one. That was that year. And could you imagine just having these like, oh my god, your face is just like hordes of like teenagers coming to you, and adults coming.
Yo,
to you.
dude, of course, I'm a public official and I host a podcast. Like, of course.
Honey, how many of them are 15-year-old girls who try to be 18 and say sign my tits? How many tits have you signed?
Man tits?
As a politician.
As a politician. this is how you
Man, I haven't even gotten to kiss a baby yet.
So I remember this one girl.
Your daughter doesn't count.
Oh God, why? I was already thinking about you going, I haven't even gotten to kiss a baby.
Yeah. so
But you know who I the only people I normally tell about that type of stuff? Baby.
So we get to the part of it. So we get to the part where I am citing, and this girl comes up to me and asks,
so you're signing breast as you do?
No. This would have been the first one, and I asked, I was like, "How old are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm like 18," and I like did like the dad stares like, "No, seriously, how old are you?" Right. And she like parked. Was like, "Oh, I'm 14." I'm like,
I
was like, no. This is what there's like.
I'll sign your arm.
It was like, no, this is like, where's Chris Hansen? Because I have this take where Chris Hansen is everywhere I go. Like he just like I swear he will pop out of this bed. He's like, I'm gonna take a seat.
Chris is hanging out in the van with Ted.
I'm already sitting, Chris. What do you need to tell me? Kids are mine. Like,
what do you need to tell me? So that happened. So that's the end of basically my high school. So now we're gonna go into college, and this is where things get fun. So
kissing babies?
There goes the NPR sponsorship.
No, there goes Disney sponsorship. There goes all our sponsorship.
By the way, for people who are looking for Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Flesh or Blood, or Yu-Gi-Oh, or card supplies or board games, you can check out Token MTG in Edgewater or their website, tokenmtg.com. And if you use the promo code Ziggy, you can get 10% off of your order.
Did you do a plug on my life story?
Leave it at that, because you don't want it attached to your life story.
So we're in college now. My first year of college, people found out where I was, and people tried to be friends with me. It didn't really work out because, like, that's what I came out as, gay. So we're just kind of like, I don't care about no. This is where I'm like, I'm
in honor of Jesus and Miro. What do you want your rainbow to say?
I want to be left alone. I want to be left alone.
In the video, you have to do it.
He's part of the loneliness epidemic, and he's fine with it.
I'm fine with it. I am the 1%. I am the 1%.
Everybody goes for
She is a homophobic baby, but it's fine.
And speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh!
We'll explain it. We'll show you after we're done recording.
Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh! and Pokemon,
Okay.
never order rainbow cards off
Yeah, I used to work at a car store. I agree with you.
Yep. Nope. We both used to work at a card store. We are hip to the game.
Thank you, our sage advice. What's his name?
Desmond.
Thank you, Desmond. Sage advice.
Somebody was talking. Perry Wickle was talking to me. He was like, "Yeah, you can open a card store. That's a great way to make money." And I'm like, "Or you could just sell online." He's like, "You can have a store." And I'm like, "What's the point in having a brick and mortar store? Are you gonna have events?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Profitable events?"
Right. Are you talking about like poker events? Because those are profitable. So now we're in college, and now we've kind of like, we haven't really done much of we haven't done much until CPAC, which is our anime convention. So one over there organized a project. He's like, "Hey, we need one more spot for a panel. Could you make a panel?" I was like, "Sure." So I made a panel about how to become a meme 101, and it was in a small 30-person classroom. It got filled up twice in the same block. So it was.
So what is your advice?
Be you, honey.
We've been working on that.
But also, $20 is $20. $20 is $20. That's how this whole thing starts.
Can you make it shake? Right.
Yeah.
That's how this whole thing started.
We already paid $15 a month for the RSS feed.
He did something strange for a little bit of change.
$20 is $20.
Hartman only charges $5.
They made a meme out of it.
And so then it was more of this funny. That's when my improv really kind of took off, because that's when I learned how to interact with the audience, learned how to kind of become a bender in the ways of audience gauging and
a humor bender.
I want a shirt. You didn't make that as a shirt. Put that on the list of merch. So I became a human bender, and it really, really went well. So I started to I want to do a tour. So I did a tour, and I did it, and it was mostly me showing up to magic events, but I had tokens as basically me, and that's where the money came from, because I sold tokens for $5, and it sold out immediately. I had
merch.
So you remember the old TCG Yu-Gi-Oh frame where it's the monster and bottom it's no text but the star and the defense? That was the token. I just put the photo and then just make it 0-0. because I have no time to defense.
I did when I went to the YCS I told you about in Philly that I got ninth at. My whole purpose was to go and promote a 1K that we were doing at Squabbles. So I made custom tokens where it was a dandelion token, which was the piranha plant, a Gorge token, which was Batman, and a Draco Sack token, which was Voltron.
Right.
So, and the attack was the month, the defense was the date, and all of the information was the tournament. And then all of the prize requirement and everything.
That's really innovative. I like that. The reason I bring this up is I want to start a tour again. But this time, not just me, but other people who are like me. People who have turned into memes through the internet. So,
can we turn into a meme by hanging out with memes?
No.
Maybe you just need pair of hosts for your meme panel.
Are y'all trying to be the?
Yes.
He's probably.
The answer is yes.
So I don't know.
Hashtag shameless self-promotion.
So there's another. So the reason why I bring this up is my college friend. Her cousin is the WoW guy. That's that blows you see the gif where a dude's wow and his stars breaking out. She knows him.
So you're gonna start a convention of memes.
So it's more like a tour, like you know
Yeah, a
how
tour.
like it's more
Have you
like
met? Have you met like Bad Luck Brian?
no. I've talked to the other Black Yu-Gi-Oh person, of like the guy sitting in the library with this. He's British.
Oh, I thought you were. I was about to say.
I don't know
like,
him, but
the,
like
the
Yeah,
guy that's on YouTube that does the like.
no.
That was at Squabbles.
Oh wait, I do remember that.
Yeah, where
I
he's
remember
like
the video.
Battle of Boxer.
Right. Oh man.
Yeah, that's at Squabbles.
That's oh my god. You know we're boomers every time we say squabble.
Stop being obsessed with our age.
I have to. I'm 30 now. That's the only thing.
So am I.
It's like-
There's a difference between an old 30 and a young 30.
I
Reese
just
being
turned
a young
30.
30.
I just turned 30.
All right, so
I did not know it was like, okay, because like I'm a girl and I have all the pictures of my friends doing that too. And I did not know guys were freaking out about it too.
Oh honey, it's
Ow.
everywhere.
I'll be
Everywhere.
33 this year.
Okay, so you're not hit your midlife crisis yet, technically. So you're fine.
No.
No, it's 35.
I've got
So you
very
got 2 years.
visible grays in my beard. No.
Same.
Like,
Same. It's fine. I got
you know, I'm sure Jamie without the makeup has some in his too.
I'm not worried, but that's my point. Like,
You see,
but
like I said,
I'm sliding into
in-
my older age with
In
grays.
my
Like,
world,
I feel
where
like
I eliminate the toxic masculinity, you won't even have to worry about a beard.
I
It won't exist.
I'm sliding into my George Clooney years,
I'm
right?
learning
Like-
I'm just trying to make sure that my black don't crack when I turn
That's
40.
what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
Like the old Denzel shit.
Like,
Like,
I want to be like I don't want to be like Denzel because like I don't want to play as a crisis actor for all the time.
the Jamie
What do you
Foxx
mean? You
years,
get
to-
right? Like
Like, yeah, I don't need.
This is the Jamie Foxx episode.
Yeah, I don't want to be that. I'm good. I'm really good. But like back to the meme thing. So then it kind of went into the stasis because it's kind of like I am infamous in a community, but I don't go to that community anymore because I didn't want to be involved in it because I didn't support their values. Now that I'm older, I don't give a fuck anymore. So I will go back to YCS. I will go back to YCS.
Let's be 100% honest.
Yeah.
The Magic community is nowhere near as fun as the Yu-Gi-Oh community.
Oh, 100%.
Nowhere fucking close.
Because guess what? They don't have the diversity that they so-called want, they so-called promote. It's
Oh
not,
my god.
It's not there.
Like,
It will never be there because because the one thing that Magic keeps themselves together is what it's their downfall is that they take themselves seriously. And they should not.
the perfect example
They
where you're
shouldn't.
talking about like the masculinity or virtue signaling or trying to false be open.
Mhm.
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Remember, I even showed you that whole thing where they were like,
Magic
yeah,
the
no, it's so
Gathering?
pro like LGBTQ and all of this like gender diversity,
Nah,
racial diversity, and then the black guy commented, and he's like, but you don't want to talk about how you leave that one black guy out of your commander group now, do you?
Yeah.
And then that, like, he got so much pushback from white people that he had to delete the tweet.
I was gonna say Magic the Gathering has always given off like American History X vibes.
Oh, 100%. So it's like, so here's the thing. So I thought about releasing this manifesto, not this manifesto, but I wrote a narrative, and basically the title is.
So we ran a manifesto.
I wrote a manifesto. I am Adolf Hitler. Just take up my face. And it was just me with like a little. It's me with like.
No,
the actual-
there's a joke where like if cops ever call Doc and I'm found dead,
Right.
and he's just like, did you find a suicide note? Nope, that motherfucker was murdered.
So
He's like, really? He's like, yeah, he would have left a novel.
So
That's
like,
the joke.
What magic card do you wish never existed?
ooh, that's a hard one. As a legacy player, I want days that never existed.
Are you a Maverick player?
Yes.
I'm good at this.
Yeah. I don't like the card days. It's just unfun and it's just. I'd rather have stuff.
You know who hates days? Green players.
Now, if we're talking about a global sense, like ETH,
That's how much I know this fucking game. He says a card he hates, and I can name his deck.
You named the four men.
Right.
I can name his deck.
Right. So it's but globally, I think that's a harder question because I have not played EDH now than I was in pandemic years. But if you have to do like 2020, I think it would have just been It's not farcical because like there's so many ways that you can stop it.
All right. Stop overthinking. I'm going to throw you some random quick hits. You're not allowed to overthink it. Ready?
All right, let's not for this one. Go.
All right, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Favorite video game?
Soul Calibur 3.
If you could go to any place in the world, where would you go?
Germany.
And what's your favorite Brad Pitt movie?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
It's a great movie. It's a great fucking movie. It's a great.
That doesn't mean that Brad Pitt has.
It's a great fucking movie where they have incredible chemistry because they be fucking.
That doesn't mean Brad Pitt has range.
He clearly has reach.
Reach and range are two different things.
And he be flying!
I don't know
Nailed
about
it!
that.
That's a joke.
Oh.
Reach and flying. Haha.
I'm not.
And with that being said, I think that's a perfect point to end the pod on. We would definitely gotta have you back for part 2.
And then that being said, thank y'all for allowing me on. It was an awesome time.
Yes. You want to plug your YouTube channel one more time?
Yeah. You can find me on Crushable Beer. You have to type out beer because if you don't, then I think you can bring up like a basketball game. I don't know. But Crushable Beer is when you'll find my content. I do have SoundClouds, but like they're very old SoundClouds because this was like me when I was trying to like become a professional Magic player, and I decided like, fuck this noise.
Yeah, no, it's I tried that a decade ago. It's hard.
It just doesn't work. I mean,
we all know.
Props to people who do make it, who cross the line.
I think everybody has heard the story about me. Like, I'm sure you've heard.
Yeah.
I should have copied the sword.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, anybody who's played Magic and knows me, I should have copied the sword.
Well,
and the fact that we're over 3 hours is just no, not even the fact that we're over 3 hours. The fact that we haven't been here for y'all in over 2 months is a reminder that none of this is normal.
Well,
and
we gotta
once
get you guys
again,
next
if you
week.
need any Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic the Gathering, Flesh or Blood, Pokemon, card supplies, or board games, you can check out tokenmtg.com and use the promo code Ziggy and get 10% off of your order. And you can find Doc and I at the Flood Pod on everything.
And that is on everything. We will see you guys next week, and thank you again for joining us. Be safe out there.
Doses.
Goodbye, y'all. Oh my gosh.
Look, it's a flood. It's a flood. It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Wait, why can't we talk about Black Duelist?